So about a year ago, I purchased this Shark Apex Duo Clean with ZeroM technology. That's a mouthful of a name, right? My reasoning behind it was that I wanted to see how well the ZeroM worked, since at the time it was brand new to market and Shark was putting a great deal of advertising behind it. What is ZeroM? You can break it down into two design changes. The first is a rubber strip built into the brush roll to keep hair from wrapping too tightly. The second piece is a comb that then brushes the hair off of the brush roll. Does it work? Sort of. I'll explain. I decided to use the machine exclusively for 1 month in both the shop and my house. My wife wasn't too happy about it, but it was for science, right? I tested it and then completely lost interest because it didn't excite me in any way. After a year, I decided to finally do this synopsis since I wanted to get it out of the shop. The good news is that ZeroM actually keeps hair from wrapping on the brush roll. No matter the hair or thread I threw at it, it cleaned it off, although often with a loud pop and a lurch of the nozzle. One of these times, a tooth of the comb broke off, as you can see. Now hair tends to wrap in that particular spot. It's not unreasonable that over time you'll start to see multiple comb teeth go missing, which will result in more hair wrapping around the brush roll. This is a durability issue to be sure, and really a result of the system being built to a relatively low price point. I'm using that as a gauge because I use a Sebo E3 upstairs. We have 3 kids and 2 dogs, so it's always picking up a lot on that main floor. When using the Apex, I felt like it didn't have the pickup on carpeted areas like my usual Miele-Sebo combo. The grooming wasn't as aggressive and it just didn't look fresh when I was done. On bare floor, it did fine. After the month was over, my suspicions were confirmed. I had filled 3/4 of a Miele FJM bag, a 3.5 liter bag, versus my usual full GN bag, a 4.5 liter bag, so I knew it was leaving dirt behind. At the end of the month, I vacuumed the whole house with my Sebo E3 and filled almost 1/4 of the bag with what the Shark left behind. So why was it leaving so much behind? My guess is twofold. First is that the rubber strips on the brush roll prevent aggressive grooming. The second is with the Duo Clean system. On this machine, you're opening up the whole front of the nozzle, which is going to decrease the amount of airflow directed to the floor versus a more traditional single brush roll design. You can choose to believe me or not about the cleaning ability. All I know is that personally, I wouldn't use a Shark, particularly a Duo Clean, on my carpet again. Any perceived advantage of the system on bare floor doesn't make up for the lack of performance on carpet and rugs. Now let's talk about pros and cons. Pros include that it worked well on bare floors. Not better than my Miele or Sebo, but it did fine. It also is relatively quiet for a box store upright. Cons? Well, we already talked about 2 with the carpet cleaning ability and the durability of the ZeroM comb. In addition, I found the vacuum very tiring to use. I'm a middle-aged guy in good health, but by the time I was done vacuuming with this, my shoulder and my arm are tired every time. The handle weight is over 2 pounds. If you're constantly holding that on your bicep, it gets tiring. Also, you have to stabilize the 90 degree of twist with the swivel head while holding that 2 pounds. That was hard on my shoulder to be sure. The other issue is filter loading. There are foam and fiber filters prior to the motor, and after a month those were loaded with more dust than I was comfortable with. It's most assuredly affecting the performance at this point. Shark recommends washing the filters every 3 months, but based on my usage, I would say monthly at a minimum. As you can see from the footage of the machine, I've made no effort to clean it up. While this machine does have a HEPA filter, when you pull apart the sealed system to empty the cup, it automatically negates that as dust tends to get everywhere. I would not recommend this machine for allergy sufferers based on the amount of dust that was released from the cup and the filters upon breaking the sealed system by removing the cup. In my opinion, there are better options for a similar price. Right now you can buy this machine from Shark for $329. That's for a machine with some questionable durability and usability issues that's made in China. For $399, you can get a German-made Miele C1 Classic Turbo Team. That machine will out-clean it on low or medium pile carpeting and uses first-world materials that ensure it will last and clean longer. It also uses a bag, and as you can see, that keeps all the dust out of the air. If you need it upright, the Riccar R25S is a good option for an affordable machine that will out-clean the Shark. It runs $499 and is just as maneuverable while being lighter in the handle and less tiring to use. For the $170 difference, you're getting a whole lot more machine. So those are my delayed thoughts on the Shark Apex. I proved to myself that the best from Shark still doesn't compare to the best from the brands I prefer. You may feel differently, and that's okay. Keep it calm and respectful in the comments. If you're looking for a vacuum, feel free to contact us. Visit our website at www.thehouseofvacs.com and tell us what your vacuum needs are. We can find something that matches your needs and budget. Now, the only thing I need to do is figure out what the heck I'm gonna do with this thing.